William Shakespeare included many literature techniques in his tragedy play of Hamlet. But I think the most important is emotions. I mean, looking at several of the main characters, starting with Prince Hamlet, he learned from a ghost who was actually his late father, that his father had been murdered by his brother, and of course, being his brother, it'd be Prince Hamlet's uncle. This uncle, Claudius, after murdering the king, married the queen to become king himself. And this king, of course, was trying to protect everything he had gained as the play goes on. And so he had a lot of fear, especially once he realized that Hamlet, who was trying to seek revenge for his murdered father, found out that Claudius had killed the king. And along with the king, Claudius, you have his wife, or the queen, Gertrude. Now Gertrude has love for both Prince Hamlet and King Claudius. But I think when we look at her love, she has two kinds of love, and not necessarily the right kinds. She has blind love towards Claudius, and she has deaf love towards Hamlet. What I mean by that is that when Prince Hamlet tells Gertrude what Claudius had done to Hamlet, the king, she didn't necessarily hear the words that Prince Hamlet was sharing with her, and therefore her love for Prince Hamlet was deaf. And her blind love towards King Claudius is, even though she had heard, well, supposedly heard the words, she did not see the kind of man that Claudius really was, and therefore her love for Claudius was blind. But then you also have three other main characters, Polonius, Laertes, and Ophelia. Now Polonius's feelings or emotions is selfishness. He always was watching out for himself. You know, he may have told people good advice, such as his son and daughter, Laertes and Ophelia, but he only did it so that he would look good. And then you've got Laertes, who seems to have his morals right and everything well-intentioned, but when he comes home to find out that his father Polonius had been killed by Prince Hamlet, his morals seem to go south, and he wants to seek revenge, just as Hamlet does for his murdered father. And then you have Ophelia, who is sort of in a relationship, if you want to call it that, with Prince Hamlet, but Prince Hamlet greatly abuses her. And because of that abuse and the death of her father in time after taking so much, she commits suicide. And it's really sad to see how much she goes through. But I mean, looking at all of these emotions in the Shakespearean tragedy play of Hamlet, you can go back and look how Jean-Jacques Rousseau and his theory of romanticism was correct, and how everybody acts on emotions and how their emotions and feelings affect what they do. Some people might say that it was René Descartes and the Enlightenment that affects people, and how their knowledge of certain events and just how things are going or what things happened, that's what people reacted on. But I would have to go with Jean-Jacques Rousseau and say that it's emotions and romanticism. And these feelings in the Shakespearean play are important today because people who look for revenge get hurt. You know, there are people in this world that either get hurt or do the hurting. And those who get hurt can either turn around or help others who are being hurt, or turn around and hurt others as well. And in doing so, they become no better than those who hurt them. And then you've got those who, of course, have the blind and deaf love. These people really should check their relationships and see in what kind of state they're in their relationship. Is it good? Is it healthy? Does it help them? Is it worth it? And if not, then maybe it's not worth staying in. You may very well get hurt, just as Gertrude. Hopefully you don't die as she did, but you may just get hurt. But more importantly, if you're in a relationship and you're being abused, then that's obviously a heavy load, and it hurts a lot to be abused so much and to become depressed for so long to hold it in. Unfortunately, some people do go through that and they do commit suicide, like Ophelia. And so all these characters in Hamlet, the Shakespearean tragedy play, still relate to this day because they show the feelings of so many different people and how these people react. But if we could just change our situation, just evaluate where we are, what we're doing, then so much could change.